Hi friends, good morning. This is your Adithya. Welcome to my channel. Today I am going to say you how to write a program to check whether a number is a prime number or not in Python. First, let's see the definition of a prime number. A number that is divisible only by itself and 1. Example 2, 3, 5, 7, 11 are called as prime numbers. First, let's assume that the user has given the input as a prime number. For example 2. For 2, it prints 2 is a prime number. Now let us assume that the user entered a number which is not a prime number. For example 6. For 6, it prints 6 is a composite number. Okay, now let's see the code. This is the code. Okay, let's see what's in the main function. In the first line, we are using the input function to ask the user the input and storing it in a variable called as user input. Next, we are using the try except method. The try except method does what's in the try block, and if it gets any exceptions, it will do what's in the except block. Okay, let's see what's in the try block. User input equal to int user input. Taking the input from the input function by defaultly gives the data type as a string. So we are converting the data type from a string into an integer data type. In another case, if the user enters a string like ABC, it will throw an value error exception because it can't convert such strings into integer data type. So we are handling the value error exception using the except block. When the value error exception occurs, it will print invalid input. Okay. Next, if user input less than or equal to 1. As we know that prime numbers start from 2 but not from 1. So, we are saying that if the number is less than 1 or greater or equal to 1, it will print invalid number, or else it will do what's in the else block. Okay, let's see in the else block. If prime num equal to 2. Okay, first here let's see the prime num function. We are passing the arguments as user input. The parameters num will receive the value and keep them to an variable called as num. Okay. Next, we created an variable called as factors and assigned 2 as the value to it. The factors variable will hold the number of factors. As we know that 1 and num are itself the factors by default for any number, so we are defaultly keeping the factors as 2. Okay, now we created another variable called as next num and assigned the value 2 to it, because 2 is the next number to check whether it's a factor or not of num. Okay, while next num less than num, let's assume that num's value is 4. As 2 is less than 4, it will execute the while loop. We kept this while loop to bring numbers to check whether they are a factor or not of num. Okay, if num on next num equal to 0, num on next num gives us the remainder of num divided by next num, which is 4 divided by 2, the quotient is 2 and the remainder is 0. As the remainder is 0, it will do in what's in the if statement. It will add 1 to the factors variable and break out of the loop. We are breaking out of the loop because by the definition, a prime number is a number whose factors are only 2. As the factors are more than 2, we'll break out of the loop and return the variable factors. As the factors are only equal to 2, as the factors are greater than 2 here, it will do what's in the else statement. It will print 4 is a composite number. Okay. The if statement will execute in some cases, like if we give a prime number, for example 2 only have 2 factors. As 2 is equal to 2, it will print 2 is a prime number. Okay, as we know that functions don't execute on their own, we are calling the prime num function over here and the main function at the last line over here. Okay, now let's see our code in action. First, I'm going to enter a prime number, for example 2. It printed as expected. 2 is a prime number. Now let me enter a composite number, for example 6. This 2 printed as expected that 6 is a composite number. Next, let me enter a negative number like -5. This 2 printed as expected that -5 is an invalid number. Okay, now let us enter a string ABC. This 2 printed as expected invalid input. So our program works. Thank you and please subscribe.